Hey everybody, how's it going today? This is Jim Prusak from the Pain PT, and I want to talk to you guys today about this notion of fear because it's really prevalent with chronic health conditions. We have a fear, we have sort of a cautiousness, or we feel scared, hesitant, we pull back, we don't engage. We have this underlying fear. We can call this fear avoidance, where we tend to stop or move away from the very things that we need to do to heal, to get better, to take action, to do certain exercises or things that will actually push us past our conditions. So, for example, if we're having some digestive issues, then we may tend to avoid certain foods or things we're eating. Or let's say, for example, we have a back problem, we may tend to avoid bending over and picking something up or sitting in a certain chair. So it could be a number of examples. But what I want to get at today is that with chronic conditions, it's not really fear. What it is anxiety. Because anxiety and fear are not the same thing, and I want to go over this today with you guys because I think it's a really important distinction. When we're looking at fear, fear is an actual biological and physiological response in the body in relation to something that's threatening or dangerous to us. It's an automatic, unconscious response that occurs immediately. So, for example, if my house was on fire right now, without thinking, I would jump out of this chair and do something about it, run out of the house or try to put the fire out. Okay, and that's a real and true danger or threat to myself. Now, with anxiety, the difference is that the feeling is the same. It's still a feeling of fear in us. But the biggest difference with anxiety versus true fear is that anxiety is in relation to a perceived danger or a perceived threat, something that's not actually real. It's something that's only in our minds, in a sense. And we have this anxiety because of things that have happened to us in the past, of events, situations, for people and places, things that have happened to us that have maybe at the time been true fearful experiences, right? But now, years later, they can be actually anxiety experiences, which are not based in any type of true danger. So coming back to these examples again of somebody with stomach problems and avoiding certain foods, or is the food dangerous? Is the food a real threat? If other people are eating this type of food and they don't have any problems, then the food is not the danger or the threat, is it? Doesn't make sense. You take the example of the back patient I just mentioned who has difficulty and is afraid to bend over because of fear around hurting his or her back or damaging a disc or something like that. Well, do humans bend over to touch the floor and pick things up all the time? Is our back meant to flex forward and bend forward? Absolutely. That's actually not a dangerous behavior or dangerous thing. But the difference is our brain doesn't know that. It's perceiving these acts, such as bending forward or eating certain foods, as a true danger, even though it's not a true danger. It's just a perceived danger. And so we need to understand the difference between this anxiety versus fear, because it will allow us to move through anxiety to do the things that we want to do and not avoid certain things. With a true fear, we need to listen to that. We need to get away. We need to escape. Fear is the flight response in the body, right? To get away. So anxiety, though, is not a true fear, so we don't need to run away. We don't need to avoid anything. All we need to do with anxiety is to learn to feel that feeling in our body of what it feels like to feel anxiety. What we're actually afraid of is not the activity that we're doing. We're afraid of the feeling in us We're afraid of the anxiety itself. So to sit with this feeling of anxiety when it rises up, or when our symptoms rise up, because the symptoms are part of this anxiety, then we need to sit and work through this and be okay, because we are okay. Be okay with this understanding that we can't hurt ourselves doing normal things. We can't damage ourselves doing normal things. It doesn't make sense. So hopefully this sheds a little bit of light about the difference between anxiety versus fear, and that most chronic conditions that we see, it's more about anxiety than it is about true fear. And with anxiety, we can actually move through it safely and knowing that we're okay. Versus with fear, we need to listen to it. We need to escape, pull back, get away, protect ourselves. All right, everybody, hopefully that's helpful. See if you can make that distinction. See if you can feel that feeling of fear, which is really anxiety in your body, and see if you can be okay with that and continue to challenge yourself and do the things that you've avoided, because you can do them and you can't hurt anything. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.